everybody. Welcome to this tutorial on how to use smart boards. My name is Peter Garner. I'm a member of the youth group at St. Mark's United Methodist Church in Mount Joy. And I'm also a Boy Scout in Troop 53 in Maytown. And my Eagle Scout project, which I'm currently working on, was to install 2 of these smart boards at my church, one in the youth group building and one over in the adult classroom in the church itself. And today, like I said earlier, we're going to be going through a tutorial on how to use these boards. Okay, so first thing, as with most electronics, is to make sure everything's plugged in. So first, we're going to go through that. So first thing you want to do, you want to get this blue cable, well not really blue, anyway, it's a VGA cord. And what it allows you to do is it allows what's on your screen to show up on the board. The first thing you do is you find the place where it plugs in, which on this computer is right here, and you stick it in. Now, as you can see, what's on this computer screen over here is now on the board. And the second thing we need to plug in is this USB cord. And this USB cord allows the program to work with the computer. Plug it in like this. Alright. So now everything is plugged in and pretty much ready to go. Before we get started with this, I'd like to talk about the projector. Now the projector is what that blue cord is connected to, and the projector is right up here. And this is what's showing the image on the screen. So when you go to start this, an important thing to check is to make sure the image is lined up correctly. The image is lined up correctly, then you're good to go. So if for some reason you need to make any adjustments, you just press the menu button and you can scroll through the options if you need to change color or anything. And you just press the power button on the projector itself, which is right here, to turn it on. I'm not going to turn it off because it can take a while to turn back on. Alright. So, one last note with the projector is that sometimes there can be problems with the color showing incorrectly. If that's the case, there could be 2 things that's wrong with that. Either one of the cords is faulty, which I ran into in my project, or there's something wrong with the bulb in the projector. If there's a problem with that, make sure to look at those 2 options. First, check the cord because that's easy to fix. Otherwise, you'll have to get a whole new bulb for the projector. Alright, now we're ready to start using the smart board. First, we're going to start with this pen. This pen is like a mouse. It allows you to use the smart board by touching it. It's like a touch screen. The tip of this pen is like the left click on the mouse, and it's right. There's an orange button on the pen itself. It's a little circle right below this orange band right here, and by pressing it, it's the right click, and you can select any of these options if you want to. Otherwise, you can just click out of it. Also, you can hover over your pen, and then it'll help you find your cursor if you can't forget where your cursor is. So just hold it above the smart board for a couple seconds, and then it'll go right with you. Okay, so now that we've got the pen marking and the projector and everything else, next is how to calibrate the board. And this is a very important part because if it's not calibrated, you might click something, you might click your pen right here and it's clicking an icon on your desktop all the way across the screen. So one way to do it is to go to the, there's a little arrow right here. I think it's like the that icon center. And press that, the little icon right here, and it will have something show up for calibration. Alright, for the purpose of this video, I will take you through the quick 5-point calibration. Both allow you to calibrate the board. The 25.1 is just a little bit more accurate. But for the purpose of this video, all we need is the 5-point. So, like it says, it just says please tap across. Try to aim for the center when you do it, but I give you the instructions that as long as you get it in the cross, you'll be fine. There's another way to calibrate the board besides going through the action center here and accessing the drop-down menu. Another way is you take your pen and you go up to the icon here. The icon itself is part of the board. And what you do is you just hold it right above the icon and it'll turn red. It'll make a sound and you can then proceed with your calibration. So you just do the same thing we did before. Tap the circle and then good. Just remember when you're doing this to be careful where your shadow is, because it can get in the way and mess up part of the calibration. Alright, and if I were to press that last circle, the calibration would finish. But if you have accidentally found that you got into calibration mode by accident and you just want to get out of it without going through the whole thing, there's one thing you have to do, and it's very simple. You just hold your pen right above the board, similar to what we did to get the calibration screen started, and then you just press that button right here, the right click button. The calibration is canceled. So that's just another way, if you got into it by accident or you don't really need it, you can just cancel without having to finish the whole thing.